Yo, what's up? It's your man Munir from marketingwithmunir.com, and I'm gonna it's actually the weekend today, and I wanted to show you how I actually analyze the charts and what I'm looking for during the next week. So that's the sort of recording I'm gonna do here quickly, and let me just get cracking with one of the charts. So I'll just pull out a random chart. Let's just go with this one here. This is a GBP JPY, and I'll show you how I analyze this chart and what I'm looking to do and when I'm looking to buy or sell depending on what trend it is and how I trade as well. So that's the sort of thing I'm going to do with this random chart. I have been keeping a watch out for this for a little while. Let's start off, because the way I trade, I don't trade the smaller time frames. So these 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes charts, I don't hardly look at all. These small little charts I do not look at whatsoever. Sometimes I look at the 1 hour one. 4 hour daily charts, weekly, monthlies. But what I normally start with is the monthly charts. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. First of all, I've got my GBP JPY chart open. This is a monthly chart, so each specific bar that you see, which is a white and a black, sorry about that, white and a black, is actually a monthly bar, each of them. And what happens within the months are in the smaller time frames. It goes down. So if I go to a weekly, each bar is a weekly bar there. So looking at the monthly chart zoomed out, completely zoom it out, I don't have the data anywhere between that. This is from 1996, which is a lot of data. Let me just zoom in to there. Okay, what I'm going to do first is draw pure key support and resistance lines. And I don't just draw it anywhere. I'll show you where I draw. I draw it towards the top, towards the bottom. I don't need that top, so I don't need to focus on it, but I'm just drawing it. So in the future, if the price comes there, if I keep the same charts, then I'll see it come all the way. Okay, so if I move this line, I'll put it around here. Around here looks more better to me. You could put a couple of lines, and I'll tell you why I put it here as well. So if you look at this area, it rejected. Let me just get this area rejected, area this and around here. So that shows me that's sort of a level. That the move that went up and down is a false break. That's what I call a false break. But I actually look at where the market actually held. So I see that area, this area, and that area, the price actually held. So let me just see if I could. Okay, so if you see the price held that area, that's why I drew the line there, and I'll draw one towards the bottom, which is here. Okay, that's already there. So I saw the price held in this area and in that area, and there's also a reversal back there as well. Can it go down? I don't know yet, but I'll make a line towards this as well. And yes, and I see some sort of rejection in this area as well. Could you see it rejected here and it rejected here as well? But if we go into the smaller time frame, it'll probably show me more. The next rejection I see is around. Okay, so in a downtrend, I don't look at the bottom rejections. I just don't. I look at the rejection of pulling back and coming back down, the actual pullbacks, which a lot of people call the correction with the trend. I'll use that sort of correction. And I see that that's sort of a key. These are pure key areas. I can see it held around this area. And it held those two bars there and around there as well. Not the best, but there. Okay, from here I saw that correction and it kind of came down again. If I could see this is a nice key area as well. I'm not going to take too long on this. I'm just going to show you how I analyze the chart and what I'm looking for. Around here, it rejected that bar there, it rejected around here as well, and it kind of rejected in that area as well. So that's the sort of key lines that I'll draw for a higher time frame. So I know when market comes to that area or goes towards that area, there could be some sort of reversal or continuation or some sorts. At the moment, if I'm looking at the long-term market, it's going up. In the longer time, it was coming down. That could be the correction to that area there, but it looks like it's probably going to come there, or it could pull back from here again, correct itself, and lead towards the key areas where that rejected around there. I could see it was a bit of rejection in this area as well, but let's go into the smaller time frames and move on now. Now let me just zoom a bit more out so you can see the bigger picture. So could you see market pull down, retrace back towards that area, push down, pull back up towards that area, push down towards this area, and I think there's a trend change around here. So that started to go back up again, and it rejected this area, and that's another key in the weekly around there, because I see rejections there. If I zoom a bit more out, I see it there, I see it there, I see it there, and I see it. Okay, that looks like a very good rejection area as well in the weekly. And I'm looking for key support and resistance. There's one called a near-term support and resistance, which is in the intraday charts, the daily, 4 hour and the 1 hour. But I'm not going to get into that too much of that, because a lot of people, they look at the smaller time frame drawing so many keys and it just doesn't hold. And then they're all confused why it didn't hold. Now in the weekly, this one I drew, I would actually try to find the nearest support and resistance. I see it bounce around there, and it broke, and it tested around there and there. So that's more for stronger level there. For me, the market is heading towards there. So how am I going to trade this? This is where I go into the daily charts now. I see it's an uptrend. I do not trade against the trend in the daily time frames. So if it's showing me an uptrend in that full screen zoomed out, it's an uptrend, unless it gets to that key level there. So I'll zoom a bit more in. So I know exactly what I'm looking for. Market is moving towards that red line, towards the top. So I'm gonna buy. When do I buy? Right now? No, never. I will not buy. So if I look into the daily and zoom out now, I'm gonna draw near-term support and resistance. I see price held about there. Rejected that area, rejected that area. This is the near-term daily. So what I'm gonna do, let me just change the color for this. Horizontal properties. I'll change this to a blue one. This is the near term. Choose that. There you go. So I don't get confused with the red and the blue. So I see a price rejection around here. So I see it reject there. I'll just zoom in a bit. 1 second. Let me just show you the bigger picture. I'll see another key around there. Kind of rejected in all that area. So this is a nice key area. If price breaks below that, the trend has changed to a downtrend for me. So this is a key, near-term key area, a blue line. If price breaks this, I would start selling towards the next level about there. Okay, now the top, I don't see nothing before that. I'll zoom in, draw one towards the top here. Let's see. So I've got a nice top there, around there. I think that looks like a nice key area to me, near-term key area. It's kind of broken and closed above there. Okay, so now this is making more sense to me. For those who are beginners, might be a little confused at what I'm doing, but it'll totally make sense what I'm doing. Before I do anything, I try to plot these support and resistance and see if there's any trend lines going according to that. What I can see is, so far, is the support and resistance been working nicely around here where I've drawn it. But how do I actually trade it? I don't get into the market by just looking at what's happening now. I'm going to actually predict what the market's going to do, and if it goes according to plan and performs some sort of price action. For those who don't know what price action is it's one of those Japanese candlesticks that forms rejections and symbols that shows me the price is gonna either rejecting that area and will move in a certain direction. For example, there's one very common pin bars. Could you see that pin bars where the body goes all the way up and closes below, and that's a bearish body. So it's got a tail towards the top showing that it's rejecting this area. And what happens when that comes? The price pushes it down, Because it was an uptrend, it didn't give a good push down. But that there, if you were to enter at the break of that body, is about a 200 and around 246 pips move down before it started to come back up again. Now, what I am looking in this market is a pullback towards the EMAs and buy. Or if it carries on going up, reject this area and buy from there. I'll show you an example. What I'm looking for now is in this area, because I see a lot of rejections. If it starts pulling back from here, I want to buy from around this area, because I see a lot of rejections here, there, around there, and around there. If I just open that, so around this area, the high of that, if price happens to come back down towards this area, I'm willing to buy back up towards that high there. Does that kind of make sense? So if I go into the intraday charts, which is the 4-hour charts now, let me just straighten that up so it gives me a clear price. Okay, so this is a nice buy area. I will not sell from there. I do not trade against the trend. That's just not my style. I'm not a risk taker. You know, I'm a patient trader. I wait for the setups. If it comes with price action, I'm in. If it gives me all the confluence that I'm looking for, I'm in. So now, after identifying where the trend is, it's an uptrend. Let me go back to the daily. For me, this is an uptrend. If I zoom it out, if you look from the left to the right of the screen, I see a nice uptrend. I see key areas around there. If the price remains above this red line that I drew here, it's going to be buy. So if the price comes back down for some reason, I would look for a buy back towards up here. If the price comes into this area here where I drew the box, I would look for a buy in a smaller time frame. And when I say look for a buy, I'm looking for some sort of a pattern, rejection, or some sort of indication that's going to show me that price wants to move up. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So looking to the 4-hour charts, now this is what I'm looking for. If price shows me that it wants to go up from this top blue line here, depending on how strong the pin bar looks, so could you see this one showing out? It's shouting at me that prices wants to move up. That sort of pin bar or a mother bar, inside bar. If you don't know what a mother bar, inside bar is, I'll just quickly show you. Let me just draw it for you so it kind of gives you the understanding. So there's one bar at key levels, and the second bar is within or inside of that bar. That is a mother bar and an inside bar or a baby bar. And with the trend, if it was an uptrend, I would wait for the break of the mother bar high and close above for me to buy, or I could just take it from the break, stop loss below there, and ride it up, if that makes sense. A pin bar is basically, with the uptrend, is a small body with a long tail. The body has to be anywhere between the 30% of this tail. So the full bar from the top to bottom should be 100%, and the body should be about, this should be about 30%. That shows me, and even more confirmation, what I would look for a buy, which is this sort of symbol with the head at the top and the tail downwards. I would want that to be a bullish bar, meaning a white color bar, the up bar, not a black bar, black color bar. Could you see that pin there? That's a pin with a small, that's a small pin, but black color body, which is showing me is a bearish body that might push the market back down. So that's the sort of symbol that I wait for. So what my strategy is in the 4-hour, if I look at the daily, because I like trading, I would like to see a price action in this area here. But I can go into the intraday charts in the 4-hour and look for a short-term buy, but don't exceed the top of this. But if it comes towards this area around here, this yellowish or creamish color box in this area, and shows me a nice clear pin bar sort of like this and this here, that's showing me the price wants to move up, then I would buy from here, aiming till the high of whatever the high is. So far is this, or if it's a bit more safer around here for this previous high here, I would aim for that stop loss just below the pin and ride it on. So that's what I'll be looking for the market. And if I look into a smaller time, a lot of people would want to sell towards the bottom, sell it and ride it that way, but I'm more of a safe trader. So daily charts is showing me at the moment prices wants to go up to here today is awesome, but if it carries on breaking up, then my next buy would be around this blue line here. So that's the sort of way I kind of trade. I think I didn't choose the best charts here, but I'll be showing you more other setups and taking live trades as well if I've taken any live trades, and tell you whether it's gone on a win or a loss. So if you want to keep up and see me giving more of these trade setups, and a lot of them going my way, and even if I lose them, I'll still show you losing trade, because as a trader, you know, if you've been trading for long enough, you should know that losses is part of the game. You will lose trades and you will win trades, but the way I look at it, I risk small, aim big. There's different setups, different ways that I actually trail my stop loss and take profits. I normally aim for 1 to 2, 1 to 3. If price is looking good and it looks like it's going to go further away, I aim for 1 to 4, but I trail my stop loss to break even. Then depending on how the setup and the price is showing me, according to that, I keep pushing my profits and let it ride along. And that's the sort of way I trade. So if you want to learn and keep up to date with the setups that I do, I'll be giving a lot of setups for different charts, anything that's coming closer and what I'm looking at for the markets. Then, you know, do subscribe to my channel, like it, share it if you think this was very beneficial for you guys and it could help others. Please do that as well, and hopefully I'll catch up with you soon.